everyone, I'm Erin Brenthouse from the Wildflowers Creative Team, and this week our theme is Impasto art, which means beautifully textured, thick paintings. Today we're going to do this spring floral look. Let's jump right in. Okay everyone, we're going to begin with the Wildflowers Gel Polish color Washed. It is an awesome cornflower blue, and we are going to be creating something like this. Our impasto theme means a lot of textured painting. So today we're going to create this floral spring design, and I'm going to apologize in advance that I don't have a pair of gloves because I'm completely out and the next box is on the way. So let's go ahead and do 2 coats of Washed as our background on this almond nail in a box. This is the regular almond shape, the original OG almond, but we also have in Wildflowers a short round almond that is super popular as well. So I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. And what we're using today are the puffy gels, and we're going to be using them in green, yellow, pink, blush, and white. And the brush that we're going to be using today is the Wildflowers black lidded mini brush. This is the brush of choice. And we will be creating this awesome floral print. So let's go ahead and do a second coat of Washed. This color is so perfect for spring. It's not pastel, but it's definitely not primary blue. It's just a gorgeous shade that's right in the middle. I just love it. Now, because we want it to have a textured design at the end, we're going to go ahead and top coat this right now. And we are going to do the background in matte top coat. The Wildflowers matte is just velvety and smooth, and it'll be an awesome base for our flowers. Pop that in the light for 30 seconds. Now we're going to grab the white puffy gel and the black mini brush. We have our gorgeous matte nail. And this is a lot of fun, this design. We're just going to want to cure every couple flowers or even every flower, just so that we could make sure that the gel doesn't move at all and it keeps the texture that we're creating with this brush. You want to use, for impasto art, something a little bit more firm. So you don't want a brush with too much bend in it, which is why these short bristles work really well. A silicone tool would work well too. You could also use like a spatula to create impasto art, but we're going to go ahead and dip in, creating a little ball of paint at the end. This is what we need for each petal. And we're going to press down, creating some texture there. We're going to go around in a circle, picking up gel every time we want to pick up a petal. And we're going to press down. You want to do about 5 petals or 6, depending on the size of the flower. If it's a little one, it could be 4. And I'm pressing that in. Before curing a flower, you can always press out the texture again. This is a great time to go in and press out however you want these petals to look, creating a lot of texture and that impasto feel. That has a lot of thickness to it. The paint is thicker on the sides of the flower. It's super cute. I want to round that one out. Thicken that up. Perfect. Going with the pink. We're going to create a smaller flower underneath. Picking up a little bit less gel than we did the first time around. Pressing down to create a little bit of texture every time. The puffy gels are the perfect product for this type of design because they're not too highly pigmented and therefore they cure really well when applied thick. I mean, don't go too thick, but you can do a design like this and it is not going to undercure. It'll be perfect. Grab your yellow. This is such a pretty pastel yellow. And remember to pick up your little bead of gel and to press it in for each petal. Just like so. Now, the puffy gels do cure with a tacky layer, so when we're done later, we are going to want to wipe this tacky layer off. But for now, we're just going to keep working into that matte top coat, creating little flowers with tons of texture as we go. I'm going to go in with some blush, a little bit of a darker pink, and do one that's maybe a little bit bigger coming off the side. Just doing some petals that are going straight off the side of the nail. Like that. Let's add some more pink to the top. We just keep picking up little beads. We can make this one a little bigger. Pressing out the petals a little wider. Turning the nail to make it easier. Wiggle, wiggle, press. Gently pulling that petal to the center. It's okay if it overlaps with another color. That's totally fine. Impasto art are layers and layers of thick acrylic and oil paints. Perfect. Let's do one more little white one over here. I'm just creating the tiniest little petals. We're going to create centers to these flowers once we're done. And we're going to use a little switch up in the products and use a few of the other Wildflowers gels that have some texture. But first we want to make sure this guy is good. There we go. Okay, now we're going to do the centers to the flowers using the yellow artist gel paint as our first step. And all you want to do is we're using the same brush. We're dipping in just a little bit of paint and we're going to create centers to all of these flowers by just tapping some paint to the center. It could be a little off center. It could be wherever you want it to be, but we're going to lay some yellow into all these flowers. Just a little tap, 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 little dab of paint. And we're going to cure that. Now we're going to go in with the Wildflowers Black Pop-Up Gel. And I'm just going to use what's in the lid. We need very little bit. Just a tiny little amount. And we're going to dab a few little dots into each yellow section. Just a little bit of black. And we're going to cure that. And again, one more time, we're going to highlight those blackened areas with a little bit more yellow. And I'm just putting a tiny bit of yellow on my brush. And it's just going to create a little bit more texture to add a little bit of yellow on top of the black in a couple of little spots. Just a little bit. And texture is good in impasto art. So it's okay that we have a little bit of texture. And we're curing that. Before we wipe, let's add a little bit of green foliage to our design. Same thing, just a little bit. And we're going to create some leaves by laying down and dragging. Just a little bit at the extremities. Just a few little ones. Just by pressing down and dragging it and cure. And all you have to do now is grab your isopropyl alcohol. I have mine in a little pump bottle. And I'm going to grab some paper towel, and we're just going to wipe the tacky layer off of those puffy gels. Because the artist gel paint does dry tack-free, but the puffy gels do not. And then let's just let that get back to life matte, and that's it. We're good to go. Thanks for tuning in today. Catch you guys on the next theme. Bye.